Well, I think it's a very brave and a very good initiative. It's a platform where people can meet, share, discuss. Education itself has many spectrums, right from preschool to K-12 to higher education to vocational. I mean the entire canvas is huge, and within each canvas there are too many elements which go into defining what education is all about: business, content, service, and pedagogy and teacher development, and there are so many elements to that. So it's a very large, it's a very complex subject. So at platforms like these, you get an opportunity to hear different perspectives. You get an opportunity to see what's new happening in this entire space, what initiatives have been taken, and I'm sure there is a lot to learn for every one of us from each other. And given the fact that education itself has to go through a huge transformation, I think forums like these are nothing but good forums to just absorb, analyze, or introspect, and try and see more smart, intelligent, and effective ways of building the overall industry and the segment itself.
What tangible impact do you see summit of this order can bring on the educational landscape? Apart from the networking part, what tangible impact can have?
Yeah, I would say first thing is the way the entire program has been designed. When I have looked at the entire agenda is very pointed. It is not designed for a superficial perspective on the sector. It's picking up elements which really need attention. It's picking up elements which really need a new way of thinking. It's picking up elements which really need to adopt some global perspectives and global themes. So from that perspective, I would say in terms of a concrete contribution that one can have from platforms like these is defined by the agenda itself. So once the agenda is good, the relevant speakers add value into each of those. So I would say it's a global perspective with a very sensitive and careful selection of topics of discussion, and I think that's what makes it so unique and impactful from that perspective.
What brings you here in the conference vis-a-vis Rumi is concerned? Like what products and services you have been pushing for the agenda of how you correlate with the agenda of the conference as far as Rumi is concerned?
Yeah, we have made a very humble beginning in this entire space. Our entire Rumi objective is basically we work with existing schools in the K-10 segment, partnering with them on the overall academic need of the school. And our ultimate goal is to have improved learning outcome. And we realize the most critical element of this improved learning outcome is not just good content, is not just good curriculum design. It's all about the entire, how do you design a process around pedagogy and handle that entire DNA which is so critical in the entire aspect of delivering and learning. Now, while we say this one part, it has many elements around it. We ourselves have made a small humble beginning over here. We've got 115 partners today, and we do feel the need of aligning with many other like-minded players. We do feel the need of seeking more learning, more exposure in this space. So platforms like these help us to relate with many other service providers, relate to many other perspectives on whatever we are doing. There are still many unanswered questions in the entire context, and we are looking to seek some trigger in that process, some kind of lead in that direction. So both from vendor interactions to what's happening in the entire industry and space, to some interesting perspective and insight happening so much within the India and around the world. Yeah, I would say ICT is a very critical platform on which many businesses like education, healthcare have to ride and move on from that perspective. I think the initiative what your Digital Learning Magazine is taking is very apt. It's very focused. I think a lot needs to be done in terms of making people educate on what does really ICT mean, because I think ICT is a very loosely used acronym and a terminology in the industry, and I think someone needs to really work in a very focused manner, defining it very clearly, and so that the entire industry imbibes it accordingly and follows it appropriately. I think you're doing a good initiative on that front. I'm just hoping that everyone thinks alike on the entire space of ICT. Because ICT is not just a computer infrastructure within the school. ICT is not just about a broadband connectivity. ICT is not about interactive boards. ICT is many things beyond these hardware. The sad part is that people's perspective of ICT is restricted to hardware and how I can use all this hardware and software. There's a much larger, intense picture behind that, and which is what I'm sure you're all working towards and building towards.